the Super Mario Galaxy movie has been released, and it's already set to do as well as its predecessor. And with the excitement of multiple potential spin-offs, I decided to try and pitch the most connected spin-off, that being Super Mario Bros. 3. Now, I have to say, before I go any further, there will be major spoilers ahead for the Super Mario Galaxy movie and Super Mario Bros. Movie. You have been warned. Super Mario Galaxy told the story of Princess Peach in a desperate search to find her family, as Mario and Luigi have to deal with the revenge-bent Bowser Jr. and his attempts to free his father. Now, while in my opinion the film was a lot of fun, many people do think that the next film should be whittled down just a little bit to focus more on story rather than spectacle. And I can completely see where they're coming from. I do wish there's a bit more story. Luckily, I think our next film is setting up to do just that. The end credit scene for Super Mario Galaxy was the reveal of Princess Daisy. Now, much like the first film, this tease only reveals one brand new character for the next film. But this does give us a bit to work with considering what story they may be trying to adapt. If you've seen our Super Mario Galaxy movie predictions video, you may know what direction I'm headed in. Daisy's debut game was on the Game Boy in Super Mario Land. Now, while that game may not be as grand as, say, Galaxy or even Odyssey, the series actually has a much bigger impact than many realizes, because of how many iconic characters it introduced who are now fan favorites. Now, before we go any further, one thing we have to acknowledge is the cast of characters. The Mario Galaxy movie had many cameos, but primarily it introduced 4 new main cast members, those being Yoshi, Rosalina, Fox McCloud, and Bowser Jr. So, adding Daisy with all these characters already put in the movie may be a lot to deal with. Unfortunately, it seems that some of these characters may have to get either cut or just in a smaller role. The first Mario movie had to do this as well, with Donkey Kong, Spike, and even Cranky Kong. And while yes, DK and Spike both have cameos in Super Mario Galaxy, they aren't very important to the story, and Cranky is nowhere to be seen. With Galaxy having so many characters, we're gonna have to do the same thing here. Now, of course, Mario, Peach, Luigi, Toad, and Yoshi are most likely going to be our 5 main characters going forward, so they won't get cut. However, characters like Bowser Jr., Rosalina, Fox, and even Bowser himself are the ones to be looking at. Now, the easiest character to cut here is Fox McCloud, because by the end credit scenes, he's already left the Mario universe and headed back home, so he's out. Now, the other 3 characters can still be used in this film, but in smaller roles, and I'll return to that idea in a little bit. Old characters may be leaving, but new characters are still able to jump in. Galaxy introduced, like I said, at least 4 main new characters, so I'll be using that as a basis. Daisy has already taken 1 slot, so who else is up for grabs? Well, one thing this film is going to need is an antagonist, because Bowser and Bowser Jr. are both imprisoned right now, so who else could take that role? Surprisingly, there are many options for Mario villains besides Bowser, whether it be Reclusa, Cackletta, Fawful, Smitty, the Broodals, or even the Koopalings. Mario has a huge catalog to pick from. But with the tease of Daisy, there is one primary option that fans jump to, that being Tatanga. Tatanga was the main antagonist of Super Mario Land, in his attempts to take over Sarasaland by hypnotizing its residents. With the Mario Galaxy film wrapping up, it's much easier to introduce an intergalactic villain, plus, with supposed evil powers chasing after Rosalina and Peach, many fans have theorized that that could have been Tatanga. The only issue with Tatanga being the primary villain of the film is simply recognizability, which is why I think he may need some backup star power for the film. That power can easily come from Wario and Waluigi. At first glance, this may not seem to work, but it actually fits a lot more than people may realize. Since not only did the Super Mario Land franchise introduce Daisy, but its sequel also ended up introducing Wario, and the 3rd game was literally called Wario Land. Easily, the Wario Brothers could be fit in this film as Tatanga's hired men to go against the Mario Brothers. So, with all that being said, what could our film's actual plot be? Well, I decided to make a short draft of a story and some major parts in the story to paint an idea of what this film could end up being. Let's begin. Sometime after Super Mario Galaxy, the Mushroom Kingdom is once again at peace. Mario and Luigi are seen as heroes, Toad and Yoshi are always by their side, Peach has found her long-lost sister, Rosalina has returned to the Combat Observatory, Fox has gone home, and the Bowser family is in prison. However, in the Gateway Galaxy, Princess Daisy has begun her journey to find help. She is able to contact Princess Rosalina, who decides to help her out. Daisy's kingdom is in danger under the attack of Tatanga, who is after an ancient power-up that is hidden within Sarasaland's walls. But to do so, Tatanga needs to seek out the key to that vault. Rosalina decides to send Daisy to the Mushroom Kingdom to find the Bros and Peach for help, since Rosalina has to stay and watch over the Lumas. Meanwhile, the Mario Brothers are doing pretty well for themselves. So well, in fact, that they have their own wannabes back in Brooklyn. Enter Wario and Waluigi, a bitter and jealous duo who are trying to steal the Bros' thunder. Wario's insults don't really bother Mario, but Waluigi tries to shake down Luigi as not being a hero and just following his older brother. Luigi would obviously be bothered by this, because mainly this film will be focusing on Luigi. When the first Super Mario movie was released, the focus was mainly on Mario and his journey to find his brother and help Peach. Super Mario Galaxy, although not as strong as the first one, saw and focused on Peach searching and finding her family and her origin. So this film will mainly focus on the third of the trio, that being Luigi. Mario will continue to encourage his little brother, letting him know that he is a hero and to ignore Waluigi. And that's one aspect I want to highlight in this film, the relationship between Mario and Luigi. That's saying that nothing can hurt us as long as we're together being their foundation. Once the Mario Brothers end up heading back home, they meet up with Yoshi, Toad, and Princess Peach, who receive a message from Rosalina introducing Daisy once she arrives. As many fans assume, Luigi would fall head over heels for Daisy, kind of flipping the roles of Mario and Peach from Mario Galaxy a little bit. Their relationship, like many describe, would be along the lines of Hercules and Meg, with Luigi's trusting and naive nature that we saw in Mario Galaxy with Bowser showing through. Daisy tells the Bros that Tatanga needs to find the 6 golden coins to unlock the vault of Sarasaland and find the Warp Whistle. I know, it's a weird choice for the power-up, but I figured it's unique and powerful enough to make an interesting MacGuffin. Daisy says she has one of the coins on her, and Tatanga also has one already. Mario and the crew decide to help out as they head off to save Sarasaland. Super Mario Land only had 4 worlds, so we'll have to get a little bit creative. The crew will first visit Birabuto and encounter Tatanga for the first time. It's not long until Tatanga realizes that he's against a pretty solid crew, and he's not the most physically imposing villain, so he might need some backup. Pretending to be a wise sage looking for heroes, Tatanga heads to Brooklyn and ends up hypnotizing Wario and Waluigi. This way they can be antagonists for the film, but if you want to use them later as allies, they have more of a path to being more Bulk and Skull type characters. The team heads to the Eastern Kingdom, facing off against the Wario Brothers for the first time, and obtaining the 3rd coin. As time goes on, they'll visit the Muda and Chai Kingdoms, obtaining coins number 4 and 5. However, Rosalina, who in the film will be playing more of a Zordon of Eltar type role, reveals that the last coin was taken by, of all people, Bowser. The team has to head to Bowser to find out where that final coin is, and luckily, as far as they know, Tatanga has no clue that Bowser knows where the last coin is. At the prison, the team interrogates Bowser and Bowser Jr. But since Mario saved Jr. in Galaxy, Bowser figures he at least owes him this one. You can even do the whole spiel of, if someone's going to destroy the kingdom, it's going to be me. With the location of the last coin revealed, our heroes head off. That is, until Tatanga shows up at the prison moments after they leave. He ends up using his powers to get some better suited help by hypnotizing both Bowser and Jr. Somehow, Tatanga was able to find out where Bowser was and the fact that he knew where the last coin was. But we still don't know how. But with Bowser and Jr. hypnotized, they now have a role bigger in this film. After finding the last coin, the team celebrates, until Tatanga shows up with Wario, Waluigi, Bowser, and Jr. all under his hypnotism. That's when the big plot twist happens, and Tatanga reveals that Daisy has been hypnotized this whole time. Now, to not make it seem that any moments between Luigi and Daisy were fake in my story, we decided that Tatanga's hypnosis works a bit like a twisted wish, in which his hypnosis grants you what you want in a specific way. Wario and Waluigi wanted to one-up the brothers. Bowser and Jr. wanted their freedom, and Daisy wanted to protect her kingdom. But each wish is turned against them. The Wario Brothers are working against the Mario Brothers, but on the villain's side. Bowser and Jr. are free, but now they have to fight the guys they literally just helped. And Daisy begins to think that Tatanga is the one trying to protect her kingdom from the Mario Brothers. This way, her feelings for Luigi are genuine and real, even though she is still under the hypnotism. Eventually, the Bros and our heroes all end up getting trapped, as the villains and Daisy all take off, with all the coins. Spirits are especially down, mainly Luigi's. Mario continues to build up the team, but he knows the first person he needs to inspire is his little brother. This is again where we'd highlight that relationship between Mario and Luigi as always having each other's backs. Mario tells him that as much as Luigi has always had his back, he has his brother's. And right now, Luigi has to finish this. The Bros then suit up and escape, luckily with the help of Princess Rosalina, and they head off to stop Tatanga using some airplanes that they end up finding. This is a reference to Super Mario Land. In the final battle, Totanga ends up taking the warp whistle for himself, and he wants to use its power to amplify his hypnosis all around. Luckily, the bros jump in and chase him down. But Totanga escapes with Daisy, leaving Bowser, Jr., Wario, and Waluigi all to trash the castle. The Wario Brothers are quickly beaten by the Mario Brothers in a final showdown, but Mario tells Luigi that he needs to take Yoshi and go after Daisy. Meanwhile, him, Peach, and Toad, and maybe the Wario Brothers, deal with the Bowsers. Luigi and Yoshi take off in a plane chase as Mario, Peach, and Toad face down against Bowser and Jr. Meanwhile, as Totanga's weapon begins to power up, Rosalina has to show up to hold back the wave of hypnotism until the bros can actually shut down the machine. After Bowser and Jr. are freed, Mario, Peach, and Toad head to join Luigi and Yoshi. Luigi is also able to free Daisy, and they team up to beat Totanga. But now, Totanga's ship is crashing down onto the kingdom. Mario decides the best plan is to use the warp whistle to send the ship and Totanga far away from Sarasaland. Meanwhile, Peach, Toad, Daisy, and Yoshi will escape the calamity. Luigi decides that he's going to stick with his bigger brother, using the whistle and stopping Totanga one last time. In all the calamity, eventually, as the heroes are trying to get back to the ground, the princesses both end up falling. Luckily, the bros are able to jump off of Totanga's ship in time, using the wing cap and bunny cap to fly down and catch them both. Meanwhile, Yoshi and Toad have to make it to the ground and make a landing pad for all four. Totanga and his ship are sent away. Bowser and Jr. will escape. Wario and Waluigi are sent back home, and Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, Yoshi, Daisy, and Rosalina all celebrate their victory, ending the film. So that's my pitch for Super Mario Bros. 3, or probably as it's called, Super Mario Land. And as for an end credit scene, well, I mean, Bowser and Jr. have escaped, so it's easily able to be set up that they find the Koopalings. Now just for fun, this isn't something I usually do in my videos, but I decided to throw in some fan casting as well. Starting off with Wario. Wario really only has one option for me, and that has to be Danny DeVito. I mean, I don't think anybody else could do a better job except for maybe Charles Martinet himself. Especially when Luigi's voice actor Charlie Day does agree, and every time he brings it up, it seems that the rest of his cast all agree that DeVito would be a great Wario. As for Waluigi, I've heard a lot more options. I've heard Willem Dafoe, Bill Hader, and even Steve Buscemi, which honestly I'd be okay with all three. My personal choice, I'd probably lean more towards Bill Hader. Or, you know what, you could probably pull out a wild card, like my friend once suggested, maybe even David Cross. Now, for Totanga, I want him to have a cartoonishly evil voice. I could see someone like Andy Samberg with his most recent performance in Zootopia 2 as kind of a disheveled and wild character. I think he could do a great job playing this maniacal cartoony villain. Or if you really want to go just more of the voice actor route, you can easily pick someone like Richard Steven Horvitz, who is known for voicing Alpha 5 or Chaos from the Skylanders. Chaos is the best example of kind of the energy I want for Totanga. Or you could continue going down the voice actor rabbit hole and pick someone like Jim Cummings, who has often played a wide range of characters who have that maniacal laugh to them. Now Daisy probably has the widest range of fan casts. I've seen people like Brenda Song, Anna Kendrick, Haley Steinfeld, and even Zendaya being suggested. But I had a few people I prefer. My first thought in trying to cast her was Milana Weintraub, who is known as the voice of Squirrel Girl in most Marvel projects. I think she definitely has the energy to play Daisy, and I think she would do a great job, but she's not my main choice. A few other names that popped in my head would be Stephanie Beatriz and Melissa Fumero, who I honestly both think could do a great job as the character. In the end, I ended up narrowing it down to three main names. First would be Isabella Merced, known for playing Hawk Girl and Dora the Explorer and many other roles in recent years. I think she has a great voice to play the most energetic and sporadic of the three princesses, and I think she could do a great job playing the character. My second option for Daisy's voice would be Victoria Justice. Maybe a surprise choice, but I do think Victoria has the voice to match Daisy. Personally, I haven't seen her do a lot of things in voice acting, but one thing that kind of sold me on the idea of her being Daisy was the fact that she does have a lower singing voice, which honestly I think always fit Daisy really well. But my final and main option for who I think should play Daisy would be Haley Orantia. Haley Orantia is a musician and singer, but she is also known for her acting in The Goldbergs, playing Erica Goldberg. And honestly, the more I thought about this casting, the more it made sense to me. In The Goldbergs, Erica was a character who usually dove into certain situations without thinking first. Of course, as the oldest sister, she had responsibilities that she eventually would deal with, but maybe not as quickly as some people might assume. Not to mention, her relationship with the character Jeff Schwartz, who is a very Luigi-type character, really sold everything for me. In the show, Jeff is a romantic who wants to please the girl that he's been pining over for a long time, and is often having to be the one to rein her back down when she gets riled up, and often be the voice of reason. Honestly, their relationship really sold me for what I would want to see for Luigi and Daisy in the film. So when it comes to Daisy's voice, Hayley Orantia is my main choice, and I think she would do a fantastic job alongside Anya Taylor-Joy and Brie Larson. So, there you have it, my pitch for the Super Mario Land movie. I hope you all enjoyed, and feel free to leave all your thoughts down below for the next film. And until then, we'll see you all in the next one.